Comedy is one of those things that, I mean, it's always been a part of all of our lives. We
Oh yeah.
love stand up and, we love joking around too, in general. Um, I think what Chappelle does the best is kind of puts things into perspective
Hmm.
in a funny way. Like life, as wild as it is, all the craziness that's going on, like breaks it down
Right.
in a way that I don't want to say makes the other side look yeah, makes the other side look pretty dumb.
Right.
Well, last night when he pulled the kid, like he's like, "Hey, how old are you?" And then he talked about who's in whose dreams and stuff like that. Like what a
You think about like the open-minded, deep thinkers of the day, and it's you don't really hear it much anymore because I think, we talked about years ago, you and I did a podcast, Deddrick, and you were talking about the leadership is the algorithm
Right. Yeah.
that's leading our thoughts and those type of things. So I think that society gets one side, whatever side that they're kind of on, your echo chamber.
Of course.
Um, but there's those deep thinkers like Chappelle. I would put Rogan in that category too. He can break stuff down, really well. Um, Elon Musk is another one. I mean, they're the standouts, and it's also interesting now that you have whatever the machine is going after, those people that are thinking
Mm,
differently.
right. It's just differently and but critically, just asking questions.
Yes.
I think that's the big difference between those that we perceive to be deep and those that are shallow thinkers is the type of questions that are asked if questions are being asked of self and the world around us. So you look at a guy like Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan, they have a certain platform where they can use humor to really expose things that the average non-humorous person will have a difficult time saying in public, right? They can tell a joke and expose some deep questioning and some of the jokes that even Dave mentioned, kind of caused me to like think about some things,
Hmm.
like ask some questions like, this is an interesting thought through a joke,
Yeah.
right? So using comedy and humor in that way, I think has always been a part for the masters of comedy. And I think that those two definitely fall into that category for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Rogan got me thinking with the his Noah's Ark skit years ago.
oh god, yeah.
Really funny skit. And I'm a Christian,
Mhm.
and it was, it was, I'm not gonna say offensive, but it was like, ooh, didn't know how to argue it. He breaks it down in such simplistic terms. But what it taught me years later is it actually brought me closer to my faith
Mm.
because I realized that, okay, I don't have to have the answers.
No,
I got to have faith.
right.
And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot that doesn't make sense, but the
Of course.
faith is what for me gets me through.
Understanding faith is like a drop in the bucket. Like what we know relative to what is unknown is, but that's not always how it's presented. A lot of times faith and religion are presented with certitude, and that would be literally impossible to know for certain how ancient people live. It's, that isn't a real thing. So having some narrative, I think, is a good foundation. But we have to believe, we
Yeah.
have to have faith.